Make sure you got your mic on. I've got my mic on.
Hey guys,
We live?
we're live.
Okay, hello. Happy Friday from Conde Systems. David Gross with Sprite. How are you today, Sprite?
Fantastic. It's Friday, David.
Oh, very good, very good.
Very good.
And as always, I think we've got a few interesting things to share with you to help you be successful with your business, products and marketing and all that. And what housekeeping things do we do? Let's
Well,
see.
we have a couple of trade shows coming up. If you want to talk about the,
So I'll be teaching at a trade show sort of mid July in Las Vegas, and it's called IPI, and I think the website is ipiphoto.com, and basically anybody can join, but it's really has a lot of the members have photo shops. These are the places you used to take your film, and now they do enlargements and reprints. They do framing, but they also do a lot of Chromolux metal. Very exciting, innovative, and so if you want to become a member of that, I know it's going to be a great conference. They always do a fantastic job with putting all the parts together to help you be successful.
very
And then,
classy.
of course,
Very,
yeah.
very classy. Yeah.
And so ipiphoto.com, something like that. Hopefully our audio is working today.
Yeah.
Hope so.
And you can always go to the website and sign up for the trade shows, and you can find the website for the trade shows on our website. So you can
Yeah,
find.
the NBM Long Beach show is coming up right at the beginning of August, and that's going to be a fantastic show. So if you're in that area, Southern California, please set your date there to come by. I think it'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll be teaching my class with Jeff. Class is probably on a Friday, can't remember. But be great. Doug will be teaching his class on transfer papers. So let us know. Meredith is watching the camera, so if you post a comment, we'll do our best to answer your question. We love comments, don't we?
That's right, we do. The other great thing about Long Beach is that we're going to have our markers there again. So, come by, hang out with us, do some coloring. It's really neat. It's really neat to do it in person.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
It really is.
Sit down and color for a while.
Yeah, and then you get your own little kind of like your own homemade keepsake. It's not like a keepsake from a company. It's something that you created yourself. So it's it's kind of personal and it's cute. So.
Speaking of the markers, I don't know if that's on our list of topics,
yes,
but we have received official approval from a safety point of view for children 9 years and up.
Yep.
And it was interesting. I asked why not even younger, because the markers are non-toxic, they're very safe. But the certifying agency saw, that you color with the markers and then you put them in a heat press, and I think it freaked them out. They're going like, "Are you going to tell a 5-year-old go play with the heat press?" Of course not. That's not what you're going to do. But it did. You can only explain to these people so often, and they go, "Well, that's what it says. It requires lots of heat."
Yeah. But the good news is that the kids can use them. No big deal. So that's a great awesome marketing tool for the markers.
Yeah, sublimation parties at places, schools.
Yeah.
Birthday parties, you name it. You could make all sorts of
birthday parties would be fun. That would be really fun, because then you could take home your little, whatever you made. That would be really fun. That would be cute.
Everybody, all the little kiddies go home with a little keepsake that is for the birthday. So the markers, I think, provide just some tremendous dynamics, the likes of which we've really never had, and that is you could do a pre-printed transfer from your printer with an area for personalization, and that's what the children color into.
I actually I have a couple of of pieces. So let's go ahead and
Yeah,
press
sure.
while we're talking. So I have some puzzles, and just Meredith did some cute drawing today. So I'm just going to press this for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. And
Puzzles are always a great gift.
Somebody said their 7-year-old used them and enjoyed playing with mom's special markers.
there we
go. There we go. So yeah, puzzles are awesome. Everything from, I think, I wrote my wedding article. I think it's posted somewhere. But you think about doing a sort of save the date puzzle. Maybe in one of our boxes or something. You can just come up with all sorts of great ideas, and most of which we, of course, get from you folks.
I think I created it was a "Would you be my bridesmaid" puzzle. So you put it together, and it asked for the person that was receiving the puzzle to be the bridesmaid, and that was pretty cute. So
Great.
yeah. Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you talk about kind of where to buy the markers?
So you can buy them from us. You can go to our website
The markers. You can buy the markers
and-
from us.
and just probably type in something like markers. I think there's 10 colors. And there's something like $35, and I believe we may have free shipping for them. So just a great deal. I've had a lot of technical questions about the markers, like how long do they last, how much can you color with them. You can color with them a long time, so not likely to wear them out quickly. So they're great. We've had marker parties now at a couple of shows, and it's been a hoot. So jump on that bandwagon because it's so inexpensive. And Sprite, I think, demonstrated some time ago that you could mount the markers in your plotter cutter. So that provides yet another dimension.
Yeah.
We had a
Really
question
cool.
regarding the Reveal S, so maybe call their rep.
Yeah, the reveal transfer paper. If you've got questions, certainly you can get in touch with our Conde support. I would say the biggest issue with the reveal is the cotton decorating film, and it's for white and light colors. And the two things that really go a long ways to helping you be successful with the reveal are, number one, make sure your heat press is at the right temperature. In other words, measure and calibrate. You cannot trust the display on your press. And so I tell everybody, calibrate your press twice a year. The best, I think, to calibrate your press with is what's called a digital metal candy thermometer. And you can get them off eBay for something like $7. And it has a long metal probe with a little digital end. Put it down your press, lightly close your press so that you can get a good reading. And they do it. Number two is to print with the correct settings. And we do have some reveal presets. And then number three is understand that the film works best with bold colors. So it's not something for subtleties. It's not something for photographs.
There we go.
And it really does help to have a great press, like a U.S.-made George Knight press. So we got a puzzle made. Cool.
We have a puzzle made that says approved for 9-year-olds, for children 9 years old. There we go. It doesn't say end up.
Plus, not plus.
A plus?
Okay. Well, there you go. It looks beautiful.
So
yay.
Just
Awesome.
think about all the dynamics and all your sales and marketing ideas about how you might work your way into organizations, have a coloring day, so to speak, where you come in, and if you have say, one of the little George Knight presses like the JP14, then you can have that with you, and that's a great portable press. So you just press your little heart out and deliver the products. I think more and more people are trying to color directly on the product, either by coloring on the peel coat or by coloring directly on it. So like our sandstone coasters, I think you can color on them, and I don't know, can you color on the acrylic?
Yes, you can. It kind of beads up a little bit, but what I have found is to take, like a black and white, just an outline, and sublimate, and then come back with the markers and color it in, and then sublimate again. And so you've kind of colored in like a design, for those of us that can't draw very well. They're just so much fun. There's so many fun things we can do with them, and like you said, it's just opened up a whole new dimension. So
yeah, the acrylic and glass are products that in real sublimation, when you print, you do not mirror image, and so they're ideal for markers because you can color and sublimate and have read writing or write reading. So with others, it's going to be mirrored when you press it, unless you manage to find a way to draw directly on the product or the peel coat.
So we have, you guys keep giving us your product reviews. We have our product review winner this week is Jerry Moriarty. There we go. Jerry, you received a $25 Conde credit, and he reviewed the WB003. He said, I love these bottles. They're a hit for the kids in the wake of the Yeti craze. He even tells us an issue he has and kind of how he fixes it. It's a really great review. He says these make for a fantastic finished product, and so great review. Thanks, Jerry. It's an honest review. And that's what we're looking for. And so now you have $25 to spend however you want.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Please, everybody else, let's get those reviews. I use my water bottle every morning. I have a little powder mix I take for breakfast, shake up. Love my water bottle. Has I think I sublimated an Arizona scene on it or something, but it's really cute.
Oh, you did that? You probably did. Okay, also, even more winners. So we had our weekly gallery contest winner, Lime Reiki. Their design, they made tapered water bottles. They won a $25 credit, and this is the bottle that they made. Can you see on both cameras? Pretty cute. It says Tiny Toon Studio, so just really nice artwork. Good showcasing of the placement. Looks good on the bottle, and so good job. $25.
Absolutely, good job.
Yeah.
Who was the name again?
Lime Reiki Designs.
Reiki. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you again for that, and please keep up the good work. The client gallery is certainly my favorite thing to look at in the morning, to see the creativity and the excitement that you folks have out there. So please, everybody else, look at it. And
it's very inspiring. I'm constantly looking at it for ideas. You want to see what's trending, see what other people are buying, or see what other people are selling. Check it out. So we're all here to help each other. Let's see, what else do we have? So we have a new contest for the month of July, and for Christmas in July, we're doing our best Christmas ornament. So come up with the best Christmas ornament, and what are the details on it?
We pick a monthly winner at the end of the month for about $100, I think.
Okay, so at the end of the month, we'll pick a winner, and you'll receive $100 in Conde credit. So just give us your best Christmas ornament, and you have all month long. Just go and submit it to our client gallery. Also, for Christmas in July, we have a lot of specials, freebies, and flash sales that are starting on the 1st. So check out our website for that. Yeah, and for even more chances to win Condé Cash, submit your blogs at submitablog@conde.com. Tell us what you're doing, projects, so multiple ways to win cash, great contests. Yeah, so David was speaking earlier a little bit about kind of expanding your product offering. And so today we're going to kind of be talking about that in a couple of different ways. So, there's different markets that you can get into. David talks about that a lot. One of David's favorite things are the name badges, because they are a consumable. People, you're constantly changing employees. You constantly need new name badges. And so we actually have, Jeff came up with this really, really nice display board that just shows, and this is something that you can create for yourself, for your own company, and it'll showcase, the different types of name badges. It has, there we go, thank you. It has, the item number, it has the different backings on it, and this is a really professional way to showcase your name badges. And so, yeah, so let's press a name badge.
Yeah, just a few comments. What's magic about a name badge? And well, it has your name on there. So anything personal, people love. And so name badges are the only product I can think of where you only have to sell once and then you just take reorders. And you might say, well, why is there such a big name badge need or whatever? And I think to some extent, the unfortunate credit goes to award shops that typically don't make sales calls. They're not going to walk out their front door. They're not going to make a sample and then go, say, deliver it. So to me, the vast majority of companies that I see, for instance, at a trade show or whatever, they do not have a name badge on. And if they do have one, it's not respectable. And so make name badges, sample them, drop it off. Now, how can you really have an amazing name badge kind of business? I think there's a couple of elements to it. Number one element is when you do a name badge sample, try to find something out about the company. For instance, what new product or service, and put that at the lower 1/3 of the name badge. Ask me about our new desserts or whatever, but go to the trouble of finding out what it is they're trying to do that's different, new, whatever. And if you do that, then they're going to appreciate, they're going to value the name badges even more. And then number two is by doing that, they're going to turn the name badge over more often as they have a new product or service. So it's a great strategy. The second strategy, which is what Sprite's about to do, is to sublimate on the back side of the name badge the reorder information, so that if an employee leaves or whatever, or they can't remember who they bought the name badges for, it's on the back of every name badge, so it's right there to let them know. And then also on the back of the name badge, sublimate what I would call important information. It could be the mission statement of the company. It could be emergency contact information. Employee leaves for the day, realizes somebody forgot to lock the door, whatever. It's right on their name badge. So by doing just a few things, you can greatly increase the value.
You can have a digital scanner on your badges, as a way to get into the building. There's all types of things. and you're not just limited to the clipped on or the pinned on either. We also have the lanyards that you can wear around your neck, or you can use on your belt.
Yeah, we've got a horizontal portrait and landscape version of the name badge with the slot for a lanyard to hook to it. And those are really great, by the way. So definitely check those out. Those are FRP, great product. So, the name badge world, I think, is just there. And I think people don't have an understanding of sort of what's the value of it. So I think you can easily charge $12 for a name badge. Sometimes the market will be about $8, but and I would say that getting a magnetic finding, that's the thing that goes on the back, is probably appropriate for everybody, except say someone has a pacemaker. So just great opportunities. Sometimes I've seen people pry the old magnet finding off and glue it onto a new badge. You think about all the reasons why, all the reasons why you need a new name badge. Folks get married, change their last name. If you can put on the name badge somebody's position within the organization company, well, they change positions. So you really have a lot of great opportunities to sell name badges. And so that's great job there. I will tell you that there's a couple of great ways to get started to get your feet wet in the name badge market. One of them is if you attend church or something, make name badges for some of the folks there. I've seen name badges in those churches that tag like Usher or something, well, put their name on it. So some great opportunities for you to understand the dynamics, but bottom line is you may need to make a sample and deliver it. So let's say you want to call on a restaurant that you believe has, really either none or poor. Well, find out what manager is going to be on duty by the time you show up. Make it for him or her. Find out what's new or different about their business. What do they really want to push or whatever. And so great, just go do it and drop it off. If you don't sell, which I think you probably will, you've certainly planted some seeds, because that person's really going to appreciate their name badge and is going to, of course, share that information with others. Just make sure your contact information is on the back.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that Jeff was talking about last week or the week before, is be market specific. Create packages for, for restaurants, or for, pet groomers, or for veterinarians, or, so create, product or client-specific packages, and come up with a very cohesive demo of what you can offer this company, and do research on the company first too. You can always
oh, somebody's
hey Jerry,
somebody's peeking in our little window here.
Always do samples. People love samples. Always do giveaways, local charities, or, like David said, churches, people will see your things, they'll see your name on it, and they'll go, I really like this. And you can have, a sale, or not a sale, a gift turn into a really good sale. So
yeah, one of the tips with any product, if you're doing, I think, the business to business sale, is to get a reference client, so that you can use that as a name drop kind of thing, that they're using your name badges or whatever. So name drop is a great thing. I've always, for instance, I know a lot of people that are into the tile murals, and I tell them always go find that client that location where you can get your tile mural installed, even if you have to give it away, so that then that becomes your calling card, your reference, to tell people about your work and how great it is.
Yeah. So, and, like I said, one of those markets is the pet market. We all love our dogs. Lord knows. I have 5 of them.
So you have 5.
I do.
That slipped my mind. So
Yeah,
5
I do.
dogs.
I have 5 pit bulls.
Wow.
So I rescue pit bulls. They're just these big, lovable, velvety hippos. And and I spend a fortune on my dogs. I do. And not because I have so many and they eat, like animals, but I mean, I love my dogs. So we have all of these amazing pet products that you can offer.
We lost them on Facebook. Internet connection, but we're still going on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we lost our Facebook connection, YouTube. So if you guys will just give us a second, we're gonna.
Just keep talking. We'll
Well,
keep
yeah.
going.
On YouTube.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep going.
So yeah, there's a lot of places that you can market for pets. Of course, pet stores. A lot of pet stores will work with local vendors. Even the national chains. So make yourself a nice display. Cork board is really good, and offer some products. And so today, I brought quite a few things that we're going to do. We're going to do a dog collar, a leash, a dog bowl, a food mat, a dog tag, a bandana, and so yeah, we're going to do a lot of really cute things, and I'm going to show you kind of how to use your artwork to create sets of things, because people really like sets. They want everything to match, and so this is so that's what we're going to do. And the first thing we're going to do is our dog bowl, which I just absolutely love, but it's not big enough for my huge dogs. So we have the bowl, and I have my image here, which I have split into 2 different segments. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to pro spray. Just make sure I get it nice and even on there. And okay.
So while Sprite is talking a little bit, the couple of strategies for addressing the pet market, my favorite strategy is partner with a local pet groomer. And their business is relatively dull. And so offering some personalized products for either the owner or the dog, I think is a tremendous hit. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. So it's in my top 3 ideas. My dad was a veterinarian 54 years, and of course people love their dogs sometimes more than they love their kids. And nobody takes their dog to a pet groomer because they have to, of course. So jump on that. Another strategy I think that is very helpful,
Yes.
smooth there, is to seek out your dog parks in your community. We have one almost across the street from where I live, and I've often taken my dog. If you find out which organization sort of takes care of the dog park, usually they'll have 1 or 2 events a year that are fundraisers or events to talk about the part. Sometimes they'll even have fairs where they got just a lot of exciting things going on. So seek those out. And then what you can do is work with the company. Transfer slid here just a little bit. May not make any difference. So you can work with the organizers to maybe do some on-site sublimation of, say, pet tags. And what you would do is you would promote your business and promote all these other products. But for that event, you're doing pet tags and you're going to donate the proceeds to the organization. And I think that's a fantastic way to get your presence out there so you can sell them all these other products. Just a really good way to go. So, think about where dog owners might go, the pet groomer, the veterinarian, the dog parks, and seek those out. There's just a lot of products out there that I think are good candidates for pet groomers, are good candidates for pet owners. By the way, this what we call a dog bowl, many people would say that's really a soup bowl. There's nothing pet about it. It's just a nice, heavy bowl. One of the challenges with doing what Sprite's doing is that these bowls are never perfectly round. So you really can't go all the way around it in one single transfer. You need to have two transfers, and you're a little limited to what you can accomplish with these bowls.
Yeah, I went kind of
So-
kind of bold on my
Right.
bowl.
Let's talk about ovens just for a second. So ovens turn out to be, an inexpensive but very profitable accessory for you. And you can do so many products in there today, and in the future even more. Obviously, there's not a heat press that I know of for a dog bowl, right? And by the way, ultimately, in real life, probably putting a cover paper on it also is a pretty good idea. But it's okay. Let's just proceed.
I can.
Okay. And
Well, let me do it right if we're going to
again,
do it.
I'm a big cover paper person up there. And what does cover paper do for your mugs and for your bowls? Well, what it does is there's always a little bit of stray gas that, why don't you cut it up a little, so it's tall.
Oh, okay, like make it thinner.
Yeah.
I got you.
So there's always stray gas that comes off the transfer. Now a little stray gas might come from the back. It might seep under the edges, but that gas really gets out there, and when it does, ultimately it's probably not going to cause a problem. But ultimately, if you have enough of that gas build up on the wrap, then suddenly bad things happen. You're going to see where the area outside of where the transfer is turning a different color, and you think, gosh, what's wrong here? If you have enough gas, it's going to turn probably yellow. So I really recommend using cover paper early and often. It's a big deal.
Got it.
Kind of stuff.
Got it. All right.
So we're ready to put it in the oven. Now,
Okay.
the thing about ovens are you need a real convection oven, and this is, I believe, a Wolfgang Puck pressure oven. My favorite for years was the Cuisinart brick oven, but I think they stopped making that.
So, do you have your phone?
What do you mean?
I need a timer set for 17 and a half
We'll
minutes.
ask Meredith to assist us. And so
Okay.
the biggest thing, show them real quick, show them where we got the little
So our thermometer,
thermostat.
our thermometer is back here in the back. Can you see that? Let's see. Yeah, so you see the thermometer is back here in the back. That's giving us a true reading. So
Super important.
Yeah.
Super important because you cannot trust it's making noise. Wow.
it's that, yeah.
You cannot trust what the thing says on the outside. You know, you need to actually know it. So absolutely mandatory. And then it's a matter of doing one and just see how well it works out. Now, as you've probably heard me, I'm sometimes like a broken record, right?
What?
But even though, I guess, does anyone even know what a record was? I guess. I mean,
Oh no, yeah, that's cool now.
they're back. You know, sound like well, you know, kind of stuff. So at any rate, black is the last color to sublimate. And so if you're getting a good, deep, rich black, you're dialed in. If you cook too long, that black tends to turn brown. Now in these ovens, you can develop, you know, some of the ovens might have hot, colder spots and not be even. So ultimately you're trying to find that time and that temperature that gives you the best black without overcooking, without undercooking. So it is a little bit of a trial process and documentation. So I recommend your first transfer pretty much be just a solid black, so that you can make sure everything is dialed in, and then be very consistent with how you do it, how you place it in there, you know, the whole thing, because if you change anything, then it may not work as well, or you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is a dog collar, and I have this really cute pug design.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
you know, so I figured, you know, you take a picture of your dog and you can put it on the dog's collar. So let's see. I'm just going to line it up.
So the collars and leashes, for that matter, have a imprint area, and it's just a white block, and on the outside of the white block is black, and you just need to make sure your transfer sort of bleeds into the black, and then things are good. Now the buckles are plastic, so not a good thing to put them under the heat press. And so typically, and I'm sure this is the way Sprite's going to do it, we're going to sort of diagonally put it in the press, and that way the buckles, you know, hang off the edge.
Yeah, and so yeah, and I have 3 pieces of heat tape here. So, and like David said, we're just going to kind of hang it off. So.
So we had a question about the difference between the Chromoblast and the Sublimation HD inks.
Okay, so got a question off to the side while Sprite is getting ready to press that. And the question is, I've heard of 2 kinds of inks, the Sublimation HD and the Chromoblast ink. And so what are those 2 inks? What are they good for? So the Sublimation family of inks, like the HD inks, which are in the Virtuoso 400 and 800, they're fantastic, deep, rich sublimation inks. And so you would use them typically with sublimation paper, which is what we're doing here, and you would decorate something that somebody tells you is for sublimation, like a sublimation mug, like these pet products. Chromoblast and the Chromoblast paper are really designed for cotton decorating on a white shirt. So the white shirt can be 50-50, it can be 100% cotton decorating. So it's basically a very good cotton ink with a very good formula of inkjet transfer paper. So a lot of people that have been doing cotton shirts for years use their Canon, HP, Epson inkjet printer with normal ink, use a great grade of inkjet transfer paper like Nina's Jet Pro Soft Stretch, and that's how they do them. So that's what Chromoblast is. Chromoblast is a incrementally better solution that does exactly the same thing. It's a little bit better ink, more vibrant, whatever, and it's a little bit better transfer paper. And so it really is good for just one thing, a white cotton or white 50/50 shirt. It's not going to be good for light colors. And so what I would say is for people that want to decorate cotton stuff, look at the Okies. The Okies are your Swiss Army knife. They can handle anything from a white to a black shirt, have an array of different transfer papers that you can use with them. But if your only goal in life is decorate a white shirt, then I'm very impressed with the Chromoblast solution. The printers are reliable, the inks are bright and vivid, the transfer papers are great, and so you can call us with more information or more questions as you need it. Does that answer your question? Just let us know.
We had a question about when to use tape versus heat spray.
Ah,
Tape versus pro
so the
spray.
question is, when do I use heat tape? When do I use Pro Spray? And to some extent, they're interchangeable, and we might randomly use one or the other. So I would say on soft substrates, wow, looks good. On the soft substrates, like a shirt, mouse pad, Pro Spray is a better solution. For products that are double-sided, like some of the Chromolux panels, we do double-sided pressings. You need to use Pro Spray. She used heat tape because it's just going to be too difficult to put enough spray down to hold that collar in place. So again, is there something for heat tape to be taped to? Number one, and so taping to a mouse pad is just not going to work so well. Taping to a shirt's not going to work well. So I just recommend you have both of them on hand to use them, as appropriate. A lot of people like to use Pro Spray on mugs because you can smooth it out like Sprite was doing with the dog bowl. So, again, it just sort of depends. Our instructions usually call it out,
Yeah.
but there's no what I would call hard and fast rules. It's just two tools in our toolbox. Where's our time, Meredith, on the...
10 minutes left.
Okay, good deal. So now Sprite has gone to the
The
leash.
So here, everybody likes to match. So we're gonna match our leash with our collar.
Collar turned out really good.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
cute.
We had a question about qualifying for the Christmas in July box. So if they place an order and call the rep, they may be able to swing. We've got a few left.
So as some of you may have found out, maybe too late, we had a program called Christmas in July box that's loaded with goodies. And originally the idea was to thank people for attending our open house. We extended it past open house, and if you placed a qualifying order, you also got the opportunity to get a box. And we certainly apologize. We made a lot of them, by the way. Apologize if you didn't get involved with that. We've got a few boxes left, and I can't make any definitive promises, but if you touch base with your Condé rep and place a qualifying order, there may be an opportunity for you to get one. We made a bunch of them, but our world has gotten really big thanks to you. So please check with your Condé rep and see what can be done.
Yeah, that's awesome, David. That's great. That's really cool. So yeah.
So why Christmas in July? I think many of us always get a late start on Christmas, but when I teach my classes, one of the things I harp on is planting seeds. You want to plant seeds. You want, for instance, the pet products, the the name badges, fundraising, which we've talked about quite a bit. And if you're out there simply showing people what you can do, guess what? You're going to get some orders. You may not get an order right away. It may take time, but if you get out there, it is highly likely that there's going to be an opportunity for you in sometime in the future. So bottom line is, I think a lot of people would like to believe that they're simply going to wait for the orders to come in, but that is unlikely to happen. So you need to be making samples. You need to show people what you can do, and to an extent, you need to figure out how to be distinctive. One of my sayings, and I think it probably came from Tom Peters, one of those business consultants. He said, "Be distinctive or be extinct." And I think that is fantastic advice. It's why we're in front of you today, while we're on camera, so we can be distinctive in the value that we're delivering to you. And we thank you for being on the other end of it. So think about what you can do in your business. The other concept that I teach about a lot, which is sort of a regional thing, is the concept of lagniappe. And lagniappe simply means to, deliver a little bit more than you promised. And it could be you deliver an extra sample when the client places an order, to show them, to plant those seeds as we just talked about, or you've delivered a little bit more, features in the product, like a name badge with, the mission statement of the company on the back. And that may not be expected, but they're going to love seeing their mission statement on the back of a name badge, I can tell you that. So when I sublimated our church name badges years ago, I put on the back of it the 5 tenets of our church, and you're supposed to be thinking about them, of course, 7 days a week, but it went over with a big hit. Big hit. It looked beautiful. It's recognizable by everybody in the church. So try to work that lagniappe concept into everything you do, everything you deliver, so that you're going to create that buzz. People are going to be excited about the value you're delivering to folks.
Yeah, and always push them for more. Like David said, offer that little extra bit. Let them place their order, and maybe they place an order of mugs, and you come in with a matching coaster, and you go, hey, we can do these too, and you just planted a seed, and now you have a whole new order.
How about that's a great idea. How about you throw in a mug box? You've got an attractive complimentary mug box for that special gift for someone. Everybody likes opening their packages at Christmas, right? Well, that's what a mug box is. It's adding that element of value to the product.
Okay, so I made up Mr. Pugsley, and this is his leash. So it's
cool.
Pretty cute.
Cool.
You see it pretty good? Okay, cool. Yeah. So this was really easy to do. For something like this, for a matching dog collar and a leash, this is a $30, $40 item. Personalized, maybe even $50. This is big stuff here, and it's not a lot. It was 3 presses, so it was 3 minutes. You can do anything. You can put their dog's picture on it. Maybe they have you can do anything. You can be
obviously the first thing pops on my mind is your emergency contact information on there, because I've had my dogs where the tag fell off, or it's been off for a couple of months and nobody ever looked and could tell. that it was gone. So this can be, call it your plan B for getting help from folks to get your pet back to you.
All right, so of course with the collar and the leash, we are going to do the dog tag. So we're going to do the dog tag both sides at the same time. So I've just taken and I've matched both sides of my image, folded it in half. So I'm just going to spray a slight bit of Pro Spray in the middle.
Yeah, this is an example where Pro Spray is going to be your go-to
Yeah.
solution, because there's no place that I know of to put tape. Meredith, how are we doing our time?
About 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
Oh,
So we got some brownies in here. So we're going to wheel in our Easy Bake Oven, have some brownies. By the way, don't use your sublimation oven for food. There's just something that is inherently wrong with that. So don't do that.
all right.
These are, I believe, our ironclad tags, or is Unisub?
These are the PTs. They're ironclad.
Ironclad.
Yeah.
So we've got now an incredible array of pet tags, and so check them out. Ones that we coat and make ourselves, and also ones that the great folks at Universal Woods, better known as Unisub, make. I've got one of these on my dog right now, and I check it every couple of weeks just to see how it does, and it's doing very, very well. When we put out products, we often have concerns about what the true durability is, because my dog stays out quite a bit. I have a golden retriever, and she's rough and tough. But the tag is holding up quite well.
If I could keep a collar on my dogs, then maybe I could keep a tag on them, but they stay inside. I have a bunch of big lap dogs. That's it. A bunch of big babies.
We taught our golden retriever, it's 11 months old, it's a she, and we taught her how to swim, and she won't get out of the pool. And the other day she was in the pool, and she was in the shallow area, and she was on her feet standing up, and she had her head sort of leaning on the side of the pool, and she went to sleep in the water. I was going like, that's something you don't see every day. So that's the definition of chilling, right?
That's cute. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys.
Bowl's done in 5 seconds.
All right. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. All right. 5 seconds.
So we got a couple of stoves going here today, right?
Yeah, cooking with Sprite.
Cooking with Sprite.
That's it.
I like
It's
it.
fun.
I like
Okay.
it.
Here we go.
Got an Easy Bake Oven here. Now, obviously, things are really hot, so exercise extraordinary caution with pretty much everything. Got our cool plate off to the side, by the way. Got to have our cool plate. So she's taking off the cover paper, and we'll see what we got.
Oh, you know what? I usually have fingernails, and I use my fingernails. And last night I cut my nails off, and I keep wanting to use my fingernails, and I can't. Oh, I'm gonna have to. There we go.
Aha!
Boom. All right.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Great job.
Mr. Pugsley. Looks pretty good.
And so, at this point, probably want to cool it down rapidly. So put it across a fan to get it, because these kind of ceramics, porcelain products, they're going to retain heat very, very fast or very well. So want to cool it down. While we, well, keep it on camera, but. So at any rate, there's your soup bowl, your dog bowl, whatever you want to call it. Outstanding, Sprite. Good job.
All right. So yeah, we've got so now we have our dog bowl, which matches our dog tag, which matches our dog collar and leash. And then on the back of the dog tag, it says, please call my mom with a phone number. So, really
Cool.
cute. Something like this, I mean, this is a super cheap product, and, with this type of personalization on it, this is a $7 to $10 product, easily. And then the grouping together, I mean, we can go into the hundreds.
Yeah, you think about someone that gets a new puppy, and maybe they get a rescue dog, maybe they get a thoroughbred, whatever. They just want to start things off right. So why not have an array of very attractive pet products?
Well, and actually what's funny now is that people are starting to throw parties for their animals. And so you actually have dog birthday parties, and
You're kidding.
I am completely serious.
Okay.
And so this is a huge market to be into right now. I mean, a lot of the younger generation even having children, and so they have their dogs, and they dote on their animals, and
So they remember their birthdays, and
oh, you don't know your dog's birthday?
I know
all 5 of my dog's birthday.
Wow. Okay. Good job.
And
Good
they
job.
love the ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, and you can go, you can go to Starbucks and you get a puppuccino. I mean,
I did that. I did do the drive-through with our puppy.
in the Tesla.
Oh, it was.
You're so funny.
It was an amazing event. I'd always heard about it, just never did it.
So so my baby Baxter, he's 5, and he's huge. I mean, he's this just gigantic pit bull that I rescued off the streets. And he is the biggest cuddler. He is a baby. He likes to lick. I mean, he is just not a violent dog at all. So we go through Starbucks, and he's in the back seat, and I pull up, and I'm like, can I get something for my dog? And they're like, oh, sure. And I roll the window down, and she goes, is he gonna bite me? And I'm like, no, And it's so funny because my mom has this little teacup, rat terrier, and he just bites everything, So, anyways, all right, moving on. So next thing we have is a pet mat for food and things like that. So we're gonna
Better known as a thin mouse pad. So very easy to do.
And these are also, you can also use these for gamer pads, or, poker pads, little gamer spots. There's a game, I can't remember the name of it, that this is popular with. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons type of game, like World of Warcraft or something. So these are actually really popular for a number of products. So it's just a mat like this.
And by the way, it's buried a little bit, but we actually sell these kinds of materials in bulk.
Yeah.
So if you buy it, you need to be able to handle it. You got to cut it, whatever. Obviously, it's relatively easy to cut, but you can have at it. You can do some outstanding things.
Okay, and I am taping this.
So this probably be a better product, really, with Pro Spray, but both are certainly good.
Yeah. So all right, let's see. What am I at? Okay, so we're in.
What?
I got to pre-press. Always read your instructions, people.
Yeah, and what I would say is if you read our instructions, often you're going to see us say pre-press. And to some extent, it's going back to the broken record scenario. So what I would tell you to do is read the instructions. But pre-pressing, depending on your climate, depending on your level of humidity, all those things, on products you may be able to get away without pre-pressing. But certainly pre-pressing, what it tends to do, it tends to get the moisture out. Moisture is our evil enemy. And so moisture, when heated, guess what? Turns into steam. and that's like an explosion. And when that steam explodes, it carries ink with it. So it's using that as its fuel, if you will.
Do you know the part number for that pet mat?
So the part number for the pet mat is PP181218, and that's because it's a 12 by 18 or an 18 by 12 by 18. So we do have them in different sizes. We also have them in different styles. We have them that are more of a glossy. So this is kind of a fabric top. The glossy would, I think, would be better, for like to put the food and the water bowl on so you can wipe it up. But I have this for my dogs, and once it's sublimated,
these are extremely durable.
Oh yeah.
So great. By the way, if you haven't had the pleasure of pressing mouse pad kind of materials,
Smells great.
They don't smell so good.
We're gonna sell it.
So nothing dangerous, of course.
The smell up.
But and so if your heat presses happen to be located, where maybe you got a storefront or something, so be cautious with your ventilation there. So you may need to locate your press in an open environment. But it's not absolutely terrible. But if you're pressing neoprene products all day long, or mouse pad, then probably that's going to be something you want to deal with. And the solution usually is putting your heat press in a open or well ventilated environment. I have many people that will say, "Hey, my press is in my garage," and I go, "Great. If that works for you, that's going to be certainly an open environment out there."
Okay. All right. So we got this ready. So we're going to do this one we're going to do it image face down. And I'm going to do this at 375 degrees for 90 seconds.
So, relatively long press time. I wonder why it presses that long. That's what the instructions say.
It is a 12 by 18 by 18.
Yeah. So at any rate, our instructions are generally a guide to get you started. But doing sublimation is very much like cooking. Right ingredients, cook for long enough, and you got it. So, the four things that go into pressing are time, temperature, pressure, and technique. Technique is what's on top, what's on bottom, kind of stuff. So, by the way, maybe I didn't emphasize enough about lint rolling. You need to lint roll. And the reason is there will be contamination that will get on the mouse pad either before you get it or somewhere in your environment, that when that contamination is hit with heat, it shows up. Often it will show up as
Blue specks.
blue specks.
Love those specks.
And best I can tell, we've debated about the origin of blue specks for many years, and I think we're satisfied we understand where they come from. They're the optical brighteners that are used in the manufacture of these products.
Aliens.
So it could be aliens, yeah, could be. Could be, organism from Mars. I don't know. Who knows? And I hope everybody's signing up to for that one-way trip to Mars with Elon Musk. So I understand the website is now open. Just go ahead and sign up.
Okay, so if you guys saw, I checked my image, and I had actually had some of it hanging off of the press. So I just pulled it back a little bit, and I'm gonna press it again.
So that's a smart thing to do, is to have where you can peek and tell how you've done. And in this case, most time you peek just see if you cooked it long enough, you know. But in this case, you know, on camera here, we didn't quite get it completely under the press, and so it was very good to Sprite for to check it. Well, that's going to be cute.
Well, it was, but the template was wrong because it was supposed to kind of go like
Well,
this.
that over here. So
Oh, yes.
yeah,
This is gonna
it's
be cute.
cute.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So a little bit too much for that
Yeah.
thing, but I would say press the heck out of it
Press
and let
the
it
heck
let
out
it
of it.
go off the edge.
There we go. All right.
Just
So my favorite thing in the world is to dress my dog. Okay, I think he is just like this little gangster. You know, he's got his little hoodies and he's got his little. I've got him in Adidas, like a track suit. Oh God, he's so cute. So, you know, bandanas are huge. Baxter loves his bandanas. I know I always talk about Baxter. I do have my other 5 dogs, but Baxter's kind of my character. But, you know, clothing for dogs is huge. And that's something, you know, we should look into for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
So,
There we go.
oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Wonder if we could, you know, even though it's, you know, put it on the backside or something.
Well, I think it's going to be a little too thin,
Yeah.
but
Anyway,
we'll fix it. We'll figure it out.
or just push it up here, and then put this down here.
Yeah,
So I
we'll
don't know.
fix them out.
Got some options.
All right, guys. So now Mr. Pugsley has a mat that matches all of the above: the
Cool.
dog bowl, the collar, the tag. So Mr. Pugsley is getting hooked up.
Oh, absolutely,
For
boy.
sure.
Yeah. Christmas in almost July, right?
Yeah. This is like, you know, when my friends get new dogs, you know, we'll do stuff like this for them. So
So how much do you think that would sell for?
something like this, customized, probably between $25, $30 for sure.
Right. Which is a fraction of one vet bill, right? You know, so
I don't even think you can call the vet for $25. I'm out of.
the all important cover paper.
We are out of cover
How
paper.
about that?
So
What we're gonna do the bandana next.
we are going to do the bandana, and we also have a. You know, it's summer.
Ah.
It's summertime. So we're gonna do an eyeglass retainer. You know, these are really popular. You know, you put your
What do
sunglasses
they call
on 'em.
those? What are they? What's the word people use them?
Oh,
There's a. I get everybody out there knows except me, but
they're all
it's,
yelling it at you right now.
Yeah. But Meredith will be back in a second. She's gone to get us more paper.
What is it?
Something. Croakers.
Yeah, croaker.
No, that's not quite it. But
I don't know.
anyway.
I don't know. Okay.
Meredith has come with paper. What do they call these things, Meredith?
Like cokers or
What's
croakers?
the
Croquis.
Croaky.
Croquis. C-R-O-A-K-I-E-S.
CROKI
Yeah.
C-R-O-A.
CROA?
Like
Okay,
like the fish.
croakies.
Yes.
The croaker. Okay.
I knew it was some word. I don't
Well,
quite understand how that makes sense, but
of course it was a word.
it's not for me to understand. So, you know, and I tell you what, I wish I'd had this. I went to Gulf Shores, which is really close to Mobile, and I got hit by a big wave from the Gulf of Mexico while I was in the water, and
Yeah,
off went my sunglasses. So I donated my sunglasses to the Gulf of Mexico.
But did you keep your pants on?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Because that happens, you know.
So, but I really like my sunglasses. They were inexpensive, but I really liked them,
All right.
and they're gone. And I was going, you know, it's like the cobbler's children don't have shoes, you know.
Aw,
So, you know,
poor David.
got a ton of these.
All right. So here we go. We're going to do these for, well, I should have done a pre-press, but I didn't. So we're going to do 60 seconds, light pressure, image face down.
So this is an example of a product that is already sublimated on the ends. And so that makes it attractive. And, you know,
Maybe
depending on your
yeah.
design, that'll determine really how much it's worth. But
Got
you think about the places that you could sell such a custom product, could be, for instance, here we have our Dolphin Island Rodeo. You've got all sorts of outdoor kinds of events that draw sportsmen to it. So, you know, wow, we're just loading up the products here, aren't we?
I should have done all this for Baxter. Next time I'm going to just do it for my own dog. Well, and but then my other 4 will be mad.
I'm sure they understand. So
Someone said, I'm new to sublimation, can you use regular t-shirts?
No.
the question is, I'm new to sublimation. Can I use regular T-shirts? So regular T-shirts generally means cotton, and sublimation requires polyester, and so the answer is no. The reveal film is that sort of method of getting to cotton for bold colors, for white and lights. Some people will ask, well, what about 50-50s? And when you sublimate to a 50-50, you end up with a sort of a washed out look, and that may be just perfect. That's what you want. So it needs to be a high polyester content. As you may know, polyester shirts are really the rage nowadays. Wow. Turned out really good.
Yeah, so
nice,
these, I mean,
nice bright colors.
these are super popular. You can do names, you can do sports teams. If you guys have fishing teams or hunting teams or shooting clubs, or this is kind of a men's product, but it's a women's product as well. So, but definitely really cool, really easy to do. It was just a minute, neoprene, good stuff. So
excellent job, Sprite. Excellent.
All
job.
right, so last thing, let's do this bandana, and then
So
let's go
at any
party
rate,
like this.
sublimation really is not the ideal technology today to do cotton. There are a lot of people who have come up with different schemes to push sublimation to cotton, but ultimately the easiest way is simply tap into polyester apparel. And today, especially for outside folks, polyester is the rage because of the technology that's built into, like the vapor shirts, their performance, so they're moisture weakening. The vapor shirts, some of them have their sun package in them, and that adds SPF protection to your skin. So they really have gotten high tech on the shirts. They are noticeably more comfortable, of course, in hot weather, because they act as sort of a radiator to wick the moisture away from the skin. And in the winter, just basically the same kind of thing to keep the skin comfortable by keeping it dry. Just a lot of technology in the shirts, and I've had a lot of good success with the vapor shirts. Decisions?
What are we going to do with you, Mr. Pugsley?
So just the orientation, the long part is generally at the top of a bandana, I guess it is, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because and then the bottom is going to hang.
I think that'll work.
I do too. I'm not even going to tape it down. I'm just going to go with it.
So generally this would be the kind of product you would use on Pro Spray to tack it down. So, and the logic is that when you open the press, air rushes in and it can move the transfer. So if you do enough transfers like this, one of the ways you can sort of start getting away with more and more is by using cover paper. And basically the cover paper is sort of keeping the air on the top side as opposed to getting air underneath and causing the transfer to shift. So when transfers shift, there's still some ink left on the transfer, and it's going to hit a different section, and you're going to get a shadow or a double take, and it may or may not be noticeable.
The question says, for vapor shirts, where can I find the RGB colors for pre-design?
So the question is something about vapor shirts and RGB, and I assume that the question means is, if it's a pink shirt, how can I find the pink sublimation value? Maybe if you could elaborate a little bit of what you want to do, but ultimately, they're in the sublimation world, you really can't universally use RGB values for products. What you really need to do, if you want to match colors, is print a color chart, sublimate it, and then use that as your guide to finding the color you want. Everybody's situation is just a little bit different. Their software is a little different. The printer is going to be a different model, and so there's no universal sort of way to handle color from behind the computer. You really just need to print you a color chart, which we can help you do. You need to sublimate that color chart and then use that as your guide to finding the color that you want. So if that wasn't adequate or I didn't really answer your question, please let us know, and I'll give it another go.
Okay, so my dog bandana didn't turn out quite as well as I would have hoped. Yeah, I just don't think I had enough pressure, maybe enough time.
How long did you press for?
30 seconds. But
yeah, 30 seconds, yeah.
But I also went from 375 to 385, and I don't think I gave the press time to warm back up. So, so here it is. And it's, it still looks kind of cool, but it's a little faded. But
So yeah, for fabric like that, I would say you're absolutely at a minimum of 45 seconds for it to get it. Now, one of the things you can do as far as judging yourself, and let's face it, we're going to be the worst critics of our work, often too critical, where clients might even love the way it turned out, is you can look at the transfer, and you can see that a heck of a lot of the ink is still left on here. And so that ink was destined to the fabric, and it's still on the paper. So, and this is sort of the cooking experience, is that, you want to make sure that you cooked it long enough. Also, as far as just being critical, and that's of course not what we're here for, but I think one of the things is teaching the classes is the concept of the wall of shame, where when you do make a mistake, and I made a lot more than Sprite ever has and probably ever will, is you want to learn from your mistakes and put them on your wall. So in this case, looking at it, we almost for sure see some waviness where we probably didn't have enough pressure. Could have been a little moisture as well. But at any rate, this is the kind of thing, you put it on the wall, I guarantee you it won't happen again, right?
Right. But, out of all the things we did, we went all across the gamut on products today, and, we had one little slight misstep.
And really, even though it's not fully sublimated, it's absolutely dog ready. I mean, you could put it on the dog, and it's going to be great. So it's still, in my opinion, still turned out to be really good. Definitely a you know almost usable product kind of thing. But just beautiful. And often you can judge how good you did by the black. You know, if you're
Yeah.
getting that deep, rich black, then you're definitely dialed in.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's what I've got for you today.
Wow, just a
So-
whole lot.
I
mean,
know,
you
right?
outdid yourself today.
And I will tell you guys that David has not been here all week, and I see him for the first time about 1, and he goes, "So we're gonna do Facebook Live today, right?" And I go, "Sure." So there we go. We got Facebook Live. But today, if you guys would like a name badge and a pet bandana on your next order of $100 or more, just call your sales rep and let them know. So yeah, for your next order of $100 or more, you're going to get a free name badge and a free pet bandana. So
Wow, that's a great deal.
yeah, so, go ahead and start making samples. Make that sample for that name badge. Make that sample for your, your pet groomer friend.
So what we need to do is, come Monday, you need to take everything home. We need some pictures.
Okay, all right.
Take some pictures. Let's post them and show everybody those products in use because they turned out really good.
Yeah, they did.
Just absolutely fantastic. Anything else before we close?
I don't think so.
So please contribute to the client gallery, contribute to reviews to let people know more about the product. One thing I'd like to see on the reviews is how much you sold it for. So those
Also,
are great.
submit a blog.
Submit a blog is also good.
These are all easy ways for you guys to win money, to have free credit. And, and that's just by giving us your feedback. I mean, we're not asking you to do anything other than just tell us how you feel. So, I'd like to get paid for that.
Absolutely. And so let's give a little hand for Sprite. She really outdid herself today. Fantastic job. And we look forward to seeing you next week sometime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.